Hey guys, what is up? Welcome to another vlog. There's a few things I want to talk about. Um, Nothing scary, so don't be like, oh my god, like what's going on? They're just I don't know. I just wanted to chat, and they're just general updates, really. Um, First one being is I want to start a series. Um, and basically it's going to be on my gaming nostalgia and my gaming memories. So it's just going to be like it's literally just going to be like what should I call it? I don't know, my gaming nostalgia, my gaming memory, something along those lines. Essentially, I'm gonna bring a game out that I played many years ago. I'm gonna explain what I liked about it, why I liked it, how long I had it for, or still have it for, and all that sort of stuff. I just want to give it sort of like, a little trip down memory lane, so to speak. And it is going to be edited um, to the best of my abilities. I'm not going to make it raw or unscripted. I'm going to make sure that it's done as well as I can do it. Excuse me, I just had some cola. And I want to make sure that it's also entertaining, informative, and all that sort of stuff. So that will be coming at some point. I'm not sure when, but when the first episode comes up, which will be the introductory episode, then you'll know that's when the series will start. And obviously, because there will be a lot of editing involved, and when I get my new editing software, sometimes I may not upload for about a week because I'll just be focusing on editing along with all the other stuff I've got to do. So that's that. That's something I've wanted to do for a long time. I actually tried it back in the day when I actually only had a camera, but I just never got round to doing it. So I decided to just leave it, and I forgot about it for a long time until I went on an IGN forum and saw that someone had started this similar sort of series, and it reminded me that I wanted to do that. So I will be doing that sort of thing. I'm not trying to copy anyone, but the guy just reminded me, and I wanted to try that. So that's that. Secondly, I want to tell you that I got a PSP. Finally. You're probably thinking, why get a PSP? Why not get a Vita or a Go or something? I've always wanted a PSP, so I wanted to get it. This is the L3000 version, so it's a bit thinner than the other ones. It's lighter than the other ones. And that's all I really know about it. I don't really know much about PSPs, but I've always wanted one. And it cost me £48, which was pretty good. I played the shit out of it, and it works as well as it should do. And I bought some games for it, so I'm going to show you the games I got. First of all is Crisis Core, Final Fantasy VII. I think that's, yeah. Now, I'm actually going to buy another copy of this game because the condition of this one's pretty shit, as you can see there. And actually the, outer layer of this is starting to come off. So I'm going to buy another copy of it. So this was quite cheap anyway, so I'm not too fussed. So if this copy does break, I've got a spare one that I can use. Next one, I couldn't resist, Tekken Dark Resurrection. I love Tekken, and I've played the shit out of this because I've been playing my PSP quite a lot. I've just fucking destroying this game. It's fucking awesome. Next one I actually picked up quite cheap. I was expecting it to be a lot more expensive, but it was fairly cheap, and that is God of War Chains of Olympus. I love the God of War series. It was first introduced to me when I turned 13 or 14. I got it in a present along with Spider-Man 3, and it was God of War 2, and that's how I was introduced to the series. So I love this game. It's actually very good. This game I've only played about 5 minutes of to make sure it works okay, but I will and see what type of game it was, and that's Metal Gear Acid. It's actually very good. For the little while that I played it, it's actually not too bad. So from what I saw from that little bit of gameplay, it's basically a strategic sort of game, and I like that. The game was already fairly strategic, so why not make it a fully fucking strategic game? Apparently there's a second one as well, so I might have to pick that one up. This one only cost me £1, which is the main reason why I picked it up, along with the fact that I love this series, and that's Wipeout Pure. This is one of my favourite sort of series of all time. First one I played was Wipeout 3 on the PlayStation 1. And when I saw this for £1, if this was like a £5, I'd be like, nah, but it was only £1, so I thought, fuck it, why not, And it came with the manual and all that good jazz as well. So, yeah. Next one is a series that I have treasured most of my life, but never finished. But it was quite difficult. And it's a game that I honestly love, and that is Medieval. So I got Medieval Resurrection. This was only £4. When I got my PSP, I noticed that the charger, I didn't actually check it because the guy put it in the bag, straight in the bag for me. When I got home, I noticed that the charger, one of the pins had snapped off of the plug, so I had to go back to town and buy. Well, not buy, sorry. He swapped it for another one that was fine. And while I was in town, I picked up this and Wipeout. Oh no, I picked up this and I picked up this as well. Psyops, because it was only 50p, so I picked that up as well. So yeah, I haven't played much of this game. But from what I have played, it's not too bad, and I quite enjoy it. Sorry, I just knocked the camera out a bit there. And finally, this game I have actually had for a while, because I did actually own a PSP because someone gave it to me for nothing, but it was broken, so it wasn't able to save. But I bought this game anyway because I said to myself, even if I, don't get a PSP for a while, I'll still want to keep this game just in case, and that is Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep. As you know, this is my favourite series of all time, so when I picked this up for quite quite a good price, actually, for the game at the time, I was very happy. So I kept it anyway. I've kept this since the PSP that I had broke. Well, it was already broken, but And yeah, I haven't really played it since, so I need to give this game a good old shot. Along with the PSP, I did buy it took me a long time, but I found myself a memory card for it. But it did take me a long ass fucking time, as I said, so yeah. And the final subject of this vlog is about my collecting, really. I'm not one of those collectors that would buy every single game that sort of comes to them. I wouldn't sit there, and even if I didn't want it or didn't like it, I would buy it because it's part of a collection. I only buy games that I enjoy, or games that I think I might enjoy, and if I don't, I sell them. If I don't like a game, I get rid of it. If I like a game, I keep it. That's how I work. The same with buying it. I'll buy it, give it a try, don't like it, won't keep it. And if I do, then it stays. That's the sort of collectionist? Yeah, collectionist, I guess, that I am. Because I don't like having too many games, but because I don't know, I don't like having like a shit ton of games for like one collection. So what I always do is each like month I filter through all my games and think, will I ever play this again? Or how much did I like it? Because even if I won't play a game again, if I like it a lot, I will keep it. Because I have OCD where like certain games I like saving, and that sounds really weird, but I like saving games for later, so I can play them later on and play like these other games now. So there'll be games that I might have had for years I've only ever completed once, but I loved it so much I never wanted to get rid of it. So that's kind of how it works with me, which is strange. But I've always done that. I've always filtered through my games and got rid of the ones I know I'm never going to play again, just so I can have room for either more, or just so I can have room, because as I said, I don't like having a shit ton. Like, when I say a shit ton, I mean like I don't want to start like, where do I put? No, full shelf, full shelf, full shelf. Shit, I don't like that. I like having a bit of room for more. So I do filter through and get rid of some games. But the maybe I should like explain how I started out. Well, obviously I started out gaming on the PlayStation 1, 2, and I watched a lot of games being played on the PC, namely Doom 3 and Risk. Fun games, fun games. Risk is on the PS1. I actually need to buy that. That's reminded me I need to buy that sometime. So that's how I sort of started out. I never started out really thinking, yeah, I want to collect games. Excuse me, I'm a bit tired. I actually started out just casually gaming, just like I mean, I loved games and I was addicted to them, but I never really thought about collecting, and that was never something in my mind. And it still really isn't. I still don't. I mean, it started to come about a little bit now, but I've never really gone around thinking, collect, collect, collect. I've only thought, oh no, I'll try that game out. It's never ever been compulsive collecting. I've never been like, must buy, must buy, must buy. Because even if I see a rare game, if I think it's shit, I don't see the point. I mean, because some people buy really rare games, but never play them. They just want to own them because they're rare. I can understand to a certain degree. It's the same with having like statues and figurines, but I still find it a little silly to spend like, I don't know. I mean, if you find it cheap, then fine, but if you find a game that's like 600 quid and then you just never play it because you don't want to or you don't like it, I don't see the point. It's honestly, I might as well have just thrown the money off a fucking bridge and probably got more satisfaction out of it. You know what I'm saying? So I I stick to just playing them, enjoying them, keeping them. If not, get rid of them. You know, regardless of expense. But anyway, back to my story. And then I was introduced to the Sega Mega Drive. Now, I never and still don't care about graphics. Graphics are the last thing I think about in a game. Story, gameplay. Two main things, or if you want me to be rude, two main things. In gaming, that is the most important thing, in my opinion, is the story and the gameplay. Fuck the graphics, I don't care. If the graphics are good, that, in my opinion, is an added bonus. Much like many other things, it's an added bonus if the game has good graphics. If it doesn't, fine, I don't care, as long as the story and gameplay is good. Even if the story's not that great, if the gameplay's good, then I can keep going with that. I'm not really that fussy with games, much like with my food, which got me into my belly. But there you go, that's a different story. So yeah, and then my brother introduced me to the Mega Drive, or the Genesis, as it's Sega Genesis, it's known in America. And I fucking loved it. Streets of Rage, Sonic, Golden Axe, what other ones did I play? Columns, all that stuff. I played the shit out of them whenever I was around there, and I always played like Streets of Rage with my brother or my nephew, and we just destroyed everything on screen and that. And that introduced me to retro games. But I never really thought about it until one day when my dad opened up like I think it's like his shed or something, or his garage, and found an arseload of consoles and games, and just gave them to me, and that's really where it started. But then again, after that, I still really wasn't thinking about getting retro games and going further into the gaming sort of community. I still kind of stayed as a classic casual gamer. I never really went further into hardcore territory up until YouTube, really. I don't remember fully because there were a lot of people that I watched on YouTube before I joined it, and there's still a lot of people I watch now. But there's two people that sort of brought out my sort of inner hardcore gamer and made me sort of broaden my horizon. Because I only really focused then on some of the old consoles. I never really played them. I just had them there as just an item, I guess. But I sort of made me broaden my mind in gaming when it came to James Rolfe, i.e. the Angry Video Game Nerd, and Pete Dorr, two people on YouTube that I still watch. Two of them, two of the biggest collectors that I fucking know. They are ridiculous. Not in a bad way. I don't find collecting a problem, as much as a lot of people may think it's sad. I personally think it's quite interesting. I wouldn't go as far as to collect plushies and toys and signs, and I would never go that far. I only stick to the game itself and the consoles. But that kind of sort of brought a little bit of a collectionist in me, because I do, if I see an old game and it looks good, mine. You know, it's not sort of like, see an old game, it's old, I'll stick with the newer things. Because to be honest, if PS1 games were still really cheap, which they're not many of them anyway, I would happily just stick with the PlayStation 1, because it's and the GameCube. PlayStation 1 and GameCube, fuck it, that honestly could last me. I have so many awesome PlayStation 1 games, like for example, Time Crisis, fucking Resident Evil Director's Cut, you know, all the shit have I got over. I've got fucking Star Wars Dark Forces, Final Fantasy VIII, Atari Anniversary, Medal of Honor, Road Rash 3D. You know, they're just such amazing games, like Smackdown 1. And when it comes to the GameCube, you know, Pokemon Coliseum. What other games do I have? Fuck. Hold on. Oh yeah, fucking Metal Gear Solid. Yeah, that is my shirt. Metal Gear Solid Twin Snakes, Doshin the Giant, Mario Party, Super Smash. Yeah, all that stuff. You know, that would last me. So, you know, I'm not really focusing on modern games. I'm not focusing on retro games. I'm just focusing on general games. If I want it, I buy it. If I like it, I keep it. If I don't, then it goes. But Pete Dorr, James Rolfe, they kind of introduced me to a broader horizon of video games, and they also helped recommend some games to me. I mean, I know it was just a general thing they're recommending to everyone, but they helped me, recommend games to me, and I've bought them since, quite a lot of them, and they're actually pretty damn good. And it also made me think more about retro games and the stuff that I've missed while I was growing up, because obviously I grew up when the PlayStation 1 was a thing, and the PlayStation 2 was just starting to come in, so that's when I was growing up. So I missed quite a lot of the old retro stuff, including the N64, which I am starting to collect for now. Because what I do is I focus on certain consoles, and when I get a decent library, I usually just leave it at that unless there's one that clicks in my mind. I don't focus on one like for ages. I just focus on it until I think, yeah, 10 games or 15 games, that'll do, for now. Because I do have quite a lot of games, so when it comes to getting through them, out of all the games I have, I've probably completed about 45% of them. So I've still got a long way to go, because I keep finding good deals out there. Like recently I just got Dead Island Riptide for the PS3 for £4.50 new. So I've been playing the shit out of that. I've been destroying that game, and it's fun as fuck, although a lot of people don't like it. This is turning into a really long vlog, but you know what? Let's make it go to the 20-minute mark, and then I will leave it at that. So let's go back to the nostalgia thing. So what sort of console will I be starting with? As you guys could have imagined, the PlayStation 1 is where I'm starting, and I'll move from there. I won't make it up to the PlayStation 3 or the 360 or the original Xbox actually. It will only be probably up to the PS2, GameCube sort of era. Because I don't consider 360 nostalgic just yet, and the same with PS3. And also I haven't, with like the other consoles like the Mega Drive and the NES, the SNES, and the Dreamcast and the Wii, I haven't had them long enough to consider them nostalgic. For my PlayStation 1, my actual PlayStation 1, the small one, I've owned for about 11 years. And the same with a lot of the games. A lot of my PS1 library I've owned, and the same game I haven't replaced any of them. The only one I'm going to have to replace soon is Medal of Honor 1, because it doesn't load half the levels anymore because the disc is a bit fucked. But the amount of games that have so much nostalgia for me is on the PlayStation 1 and 2 and the GameCube. I mean, I've never had a large library of GameCube games. In fact, that's probably one of my smallest libraries, along with the N64, of course. But I've always really enjoyed those consoles, and I've always wanted to get more for them. I'm just looking at my PlayStation 1 games, and there's some that I never owned because I didn't know what they were called, because I had so many. I don't have them anymore, unfortunately, but I had so many demos for the PlayStation 1, and I've played so many games, and it's only due to gameplay and something that clicks in my mind that lets me sort of realise what games they were. For example, the game Loaded and the game Battle Arena Toshinden. Whether you've heard of them or not, I don't know. I can't get them out because they're behind other games, and I can't be asked to fuck around right now. But I played them on a demo, and Battle Arena actually clicked in my head. I was just sitting on Google one day because I wanted to search for something. Because I don't know, I wanted to search for like PS1 games. I don't know. I just wanted to get a list of them, see which ones I was missing. That I have played and wanted to buy, and that. And then all of a sudden my brain just said Battle Arena Toshinden, and I was just like, huh. So I typed it into Google Images to see some pictures of it, and I was like, holy shit, that's the one I played on that demo. And that was about 6 years after I played the demo and lost it, unfortunately, so I couldn't really remember what the name was. And then when I found it, I was so happy, and I got it for 5p. The bidding had no post and packaging, it was just 5 pence. And I've had that copy ever since. Another game was Loaded, as I said. That game, again, I played on the demo, but I never knew the name of it. And then I was looking, I always go on YouTube to look for like underrated games, because a lot of the games I played back in the day were completely underrated. Not all of them, just quite a few of them though. For Silent Bomber, no one knows what that game is. Silent Bomber. It is so fucking fun that I'm going to do a playthrough on it one day, because it is amazing. Okay, one of the best games on the PlayStation 1 by far, but not many people have heard of it. Anyway, back to Loaded. And I searched it up, and when it was like number 30 or something on the list of like 50 or something, and it was just like Loaded. I was like, I wanted that game. Done. Anyway, guys, I've hit the 20-minute mark. I hope you guys have enjoyed this vlog and this rambling. I hope it lets you get to know me a bit more when it comes to gaming and my collection and such. And if there's anything you want me to talk about a bit more in my vlogs, like maybe some collections that I want to try and build up or anything like that, then just message me. I'm always on YouTube, so just send me a comment and I will read it, and I will happily oblige if you want me to explain some more things on a collect or anything I've collected too much of. Just let me know. Hope you guys have enjoyed, and I'll see you in my other videos.